There we are. Okay, cool. So I just unmuted myself. Can everybody hear me? Just want to do a quick mic check. That would be awesome. If you could let me know, that would be great. For whatever reason, I was muted. But yeah, so I was like I was saying last night, that the more you're able to get honest with who you are and not have judgment around what comes up, the more opportunity you're going to have. But a lot of people, well, we all have egos, and what's important about asking yourself questions and being as neutral about the answer as possible is going to bring some stuff up for you. But a lot of people have invested a lot into the beliefs that they have, and questioning beliefs brings up opportunities for you to look at just how entangled these beliefs have become over your life. And this it's been part of my journey as well, where I've made decisions and made choices in my life, and because of how entangled those decisions became with the community, with everything else that got involved as a result of those decisions, it really had an impact when it came time for me to start making different decisions, right? So we've really got to look at, what investment do we have around these beliefs that keep us from moving into what we want to create. And what this one's all about is what we got wrong about happiness. Okay. And I'm going to throw, well, actually, I'll do one tomorrow, on this as well, because everybody just wants to be happy, right? And the reason this is so important is the because our insides just aren't aligned with what it is that we want to create, right? So what we do is we put our happiness outside of ourselves, and we really don't understand what it means to be in a state of joy. Joy is actually like really looking at different components of our lives and just being internally grateful for everything that happens in life. Now, this is mastery that I'm talking about. It's very idealistic, obviously, because I have my days, right? Like there's days that are a little bit more of a challenge for me than other days. But I really do intentionally set to make my days the best that they can be, because nobody's living this life but me. I am the only one that is living inside of who I am. And in order for me to live the life that I truly want to live, it is my responsibility to do everything I can to let go of what I need to let go of, the negative programs, the negative beliefs, and the negative emotions, and do what I can to let that stuff go so that I'm able to create what it is that I really want to create. And that's what this 5-day challenge that I'm going to be doing, that's going to start Sunday, this is what this challenge is all about, is you really learning the science of ancient strategies and using the art of expression so that you can switch on your truest, highest self at any moment that you want in your life. Because, friends, what I'm about to tell you right now is probably literally the most profound tool that anybody could ever give you. Now, um, I didn't have this said to me until probably, I don't know, probably 25 years into this journey. And it was powerful when I really got the magnitude of what I'm about to share with you. And that is, what determines the quality of your life is simply two things, and two things only. And that is the scripts you tell yourself and the images that you have in your head. We are the ones that cause the suffering within us. And we don't want to go into the areas where there's pain within ourselves. And because we don't want to do that, we end up suffering, right? And then we end up avoiding situations that we believe are going to animate that pain. So take you had a certain relationship with somebody, and you made decisions about love as a result of that relationship. And then what you end up doing is you seek evidence that proves whatever beliefs that you created. And this is what the ego's job is. The ego's job is to prove you right and find all the evidence that supports what it is that it created. Now, the interesting part about this, okay, so I'll tell you a story. So I was watching a video by Mel Robbins. Some of you may or may not know her. She is the one that created the book 5-Second Rule. It's a great book. And she was being interviewed, and she was basically saying that positive thinking is garbage. And I agree with her. although it does have its place. I'm not throwing it out the window, but too many people don't recognize the magnitude of the programs that we have inside of ourselves. So she's talking to him, and she was telling her story about how she had a TV program. She had a powered up coaching business. And then her life started going south. She was drinking a lot. She was staying in bed, didn't want to get up. And her husband was blowing a lot of the money that they had into these restaurant businesses. And she just could not understand that. Why are you putting money into these things? That they're sucking our money out of us. We don't have the money to put into it. But what she learned in that was this concept called sunken cost fallacy. And when I heard this, it was literally one of those things in my life where I went, wow, this has impacted my life so many different times, where I make a decision, start making moves towards that decision. And then once I get into that decision, then I start investing more time, more money, more energy into that. And it becomes, the more I invest into it, the more challenging it becomes for me to let it go. And I can't tell you how many times that I've had this experience within ourselves. But the important question is to ask is, if I had not invested the time, money, and energy, or whatever it is that you invested into a situation that you don't want to be in, would you be able to walk away from it? Would you be able to take the lessons away from it and let it go, right? Because letting go, actually, I got a process that I call the flip method, which is forgiveness, which is teaching you what forgiveness really is. A lot of people don't even really know what forgiveness is all about. Well, I just forgive them. Well, what does that mean, right? And then there's letting go, which is another process in itself. And then it's into your power, right? True healing does not happen until you reclaim the power that the experience or the violation took from you. True power happens when you reclaim that, or true healing takes place when you reclaim whatever it is that experience denied you. And then you know you're on the other side of it, and you're not having your past impact what it is that you want to create in the future. So really understanding that there are things that have happened in our lives that we had certain experiences around. And because those happened, these are the things that we spend the rest of our lives not wanting to look at. Right. And then we create these stories and narratives around these experiences. And this is the very thing that keeps us from not creating the life that we really want. Right. So this 5-day challenge that I'm going to be putting together is literally, masterful coaching level strategies that I've used with hundreds and hundreds of students and clients. And it's really going to give you some tools that can literally change your life forever. And this challenge is going to start Sunday night, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at thepotentialzonegroup.com, thepotentialzonegroup.com. And we are going to go 5 consecutive days. And I'm going to be sharing some incredible tools with you. Now, you might be thinking, well, I got my life together. Okay. My life's good. Okay, cool. And if you're one of those people, then this isn't for you, right? But most people are really good at convincing themselves that their life is different than what it really is. And we're not here to exist. We are here to live. We are here to thrive. And every single person that I've spoken with, after having conversations with them for a while and getting to know them a little bit more, there's things that they begin to reveal about things that they are challenged with in life. And see, high achievers have big egos as well. And we can't heal what we won't feel. And see, this is one of the biggest areas that take out more entrepreneurs than anything. Friends, the statistics are there. Now, I'm not a big fan of statistics unless it's a measurement of averages and things like that. But yeah, I had a whole conversation about this one last night. But understanding that 85% of lottery winners file bankruptcy within 5 years of winning the lottery. That is a clue. There's a reason this happens, right? 9 out of 10 businesses fail in the first 10 years or first 5 years of business. Happens. That's the statistics. Then the 80% of the 1% that stayed in it end up failing in the next 5 years. There's reasons all of this stuff happens. right? Divorce rate has gone through the roof, right? Addictions have gone through the roof. And the interesting thing is, men, I'm talking to you guys, and just understanding it's masculine energy, but women are stepping into this as well too. It's become noble to be called a workaholic. Okay, so think about that. What is a holic, right? It's an addict, right? And it's being it's being honored to see somebody that's a workaholic that basically checks out from reality, right? And somebody that works hard, right? And I get it. I've been there, done it. I know what 120-hour weeks are. And anytime you are running from facing who you truly are, you are going to suffer, right? But then and then what we end up doing is that we start looking outside of ourselves to fulfill that. Number one thing that takes out more entrepreneurs than anything is the imposter syndrome. And so the other part of that is burnout syndrome. Burnout syndrome is massive with entrepreneurs. Again, it's just because they don't know how to handle their inner game. I was coaching a collegiate athlete that was very, very amazing and accomplished lots of amazing things. But what ended up happening was her body could only go so far because her inner game was playing against her, right? You've got to be holistic in all areas of your life. You've got to have your inner game on board, and then that's going to produce and align with what you create on the outside of you. Friends, understand behavior is just an adaptation, right? And so what I'm going to be talking about and teaching on in the 5-day challenge is I'm going to be teaching the 3A method, the AAA method, which is activate. So I'm going to show you how to activate deep programs within yourself, your actual natural state programs that you were literally born with, like the ones that you believed anything was possible, like the time when you dreamed of making amazing things happen, before you got conditioned to believe of what wasn't possible, right? So I'm going to teach you how to activate deep programs that are deep inside of you that are literally your superhuman abilities. Then I'm going to show you how to align everything in your life that is, and see, understand, again, this is one of the reasons why entrepreneurs burn out, is because they are processing way too much information. They think they're focused, but they're not, because they're burning up all this energy because they don't know how to manage their inner game, right? Understand, every thought takes energy. Every feeling takes energy. Emotion is nothing more than energy in motion, right? So the more you look at what it is that's creating this thing called life for you, the more you can see how important it is for you to align everything. If you keep putting energy out like this, I mean, think about the energy it would take to chase two rabbits, right? I mean, in no time you'd be burned out, right? Just tired. And that's what happens when we don't feel congruent in the decisions that we make. It's what we experience when we're not sure, that we hesitate, and the more we wait, the more we take on, right? And then we keep taking all this stuff on, and we don't recognize how much we've taken on, and then we begin to break down. It happens all the time, right? Now you can see people that have just the most amazing, they have amazing physique, they look healthy and everything like that, but you don't know what's going on the inside of them. Like somebody said, well, Bob passed away, he had a heart attack, man, and guy's healthier than anybody I know, but you don't know what the inner game's going on, right? Understand, your unconscious mind wants to serve you, and it's going to serve you the way it believes you want it to serve you. And so if we're not clear about what it is that we're giving direction, or what it is that we really want to create, we end up creating some really, really interesting situations in your life. So then the third thing is I teach you is how to apply it, right? Like really getting intentional about what you want to create. Because what happens is we have this thought, and the quicker we can move from this thought into action and start creating momentum to what it is that we want to take, the quicker it's going to happen. But what most people do is they have this thought and they start moving into it, and then they get flooded with all this stuff that comes up. Doubt kills more dreams than fear ever will. Let me repeat that. Doubt kills more dreams than fear ever will, right? Because as soon as we start having these kinds of thoughts, it's almost like we turn on this monster and all this stuff comes inside of us and we're not able to manage it. And then for most guys, okay, this is talking to you guys again. Most guys are terrified of getting honest about their emotions, right? They don't want to admit they have egos that says, hey, just pull you up by the bootstraps, right? And we've been taught that, right? Things are changing, my friends. Things are changing. Men are losing. Let me see. How can I say this? Men are, in the last couple decades, men are beginning to lose what it means to be a man, because advancement is not so based on the strengths of their backs, right? This is what allowed men to dominate the workforce, is because of the strengths of their back. Things have changed, right? And when things change, we have to adapt to those changes. If we don't, we're going to suffer, right? And this is what I talk about, is like, what is wrong with being happy, right? Happy is based on happenstance, right? Like you can see a bird flying up in a tree and like, oh, that's amazing, right? But then get a phone call from your partner or friend or whatever, and then boom, then you're derailed and you're off in that state, right? So it's you learning to be present in the moment and then being able to stay committed. So commitment is being able to go through whatever you're going to go through, any emotion, any thought, whatever. Commitment is you achieving what it is that you set out to achieve, it regardless of what is going on inside of you, right? People don't get what they want, they get what they're committed to. But see, the other part of that is we can make conscious commitments, but then as we start going down the journey, what's going to happen is our unconscious commitments are going to pop up, because again, our unconscious wants to serve us, right? And it's going to come up with all kinds of resistance that's going to make things very, very challenging, and you're going to burn up tons of energy. And because you don't know what's going on inside of you, most people quit, right? And that's why I want to do this challenge, because I want to do everything I can to support people for 2022. Okay. So get over to thepotentialzonegroup.com, thepotentialzonegroup.com, become a part of my private group, and where we're putting in lots and lots of awesome stuff in there. And we will start Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be a 5-day challenge, and we really look forward to having you there. It's an amazing community over there, and I look forward to seeing you there and having you be a part of the challenge. Till then, my friend, have a great Friday night. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And much love. And as always, live like your life depends on it, because it does, my friend. Have a beautiful night, and I will see you. I'll come back on tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Much love.